Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, not too much to add to my last video. I just wanted to talk to you about what we can expect next week. We are going to have the Fed chair, so Jerome Powell, speaking. He is speaking on Tuesday, on the 7th of February, here 12 p.m. Just need to double check what time that is. That's Eastern time. Yeah, Eastern time, and you can open that here on Forex Factory, and you can see that he is due to participate in a moderated discussion at the Economic Club of Washington DC. Now, normally those speeches, they can generate some volatility, yeah, but usually not more than CPI data would or the Fed interest rate decision would, especially as just a few days ago we heard his speech, and I don't think he will share anything new. So still be aware of some volatility on that day. That's obviously in the middle of the trading hours of the US, and then we've got here another FOMC member speak on Wednesday. Now, I would not necessarily expect too much volatility there. And what is interesting is down here, on Friday we will have the UOM consumer sentiment. That means next week we have a few events that could trigger some volatility in the markets. Nothing trend changing though, I think. Nevertheless, we are going to see the CPI on February the 14th. That will certainly be interesting. 8:30 a.m. as always. And that is really going to be interesting. So core CPI and CPI in the US, 8:30 a.m. on the 14th of February. I'm going to do a live stream again, but that's not next week. That is the week after. Yeah, so we are back to Bitcoin. Not too much to add. I'm not going to focus on the larger price action in this video. There is not much more to add. Also here, we're just hovering around the support area. So we're holding support for now. Maybe we are going to see a decision today as we're heading into a new trading week. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more volatility. At the moment, I'm lacking any evidence. I don't see any evidence that this C wave here of Y of 2 is finished. We are still in support. The price can use the entire support area to reverse from here into a third wave. That's still, I wouldn't say the plan, but that would be preferred, to still see an extension of that fifth wave here of the larger third wave that we discussed yesterday in the videos in detail. And support remains here based on FIB support areas between the 88.7 and the 61.8 FIB, between 23.3k and 22.9k pretty much. If we go below that 88.7 FIB, it will make it very unlikely that this wave 5 extension is going to happen, and we are at risk. Well, actually we will break out of this trend channel to the downside and will then enter the larger support area, and we will be able to specify targets a little bit closer and tighter as we're heading into that support area, and then we can use the subwaves to calculate targets for it. But at the moment the view remains that I'm gonna wait. Do we hold the micro support in the green box? If we do, there's a high likelihood we're going to see that wave 5 extension directly to the upside before we come down. But if we lose that support area, we are probably directly going to go into wave 4 support. I made that switch this week, that I don't necessarily expect another wave 5 extension here, because with that latest spike that we had on Wednesday, it could already be in. That means, I mentioned that before extensively this week, if we lose micro support, I'm viewing it first of all as a possible wave 4 and then a wave 2, depending on how low we go, obviously provided that we hold one of their support areas, which I will always make you aware of. That's a bit different to what it was before. Before we had that last high here, I mentioned to you that if we drop out of support here, micro support, then it increases directly the chances of continuing with the bear market. That's no longer the case, because we have enough waves to the upside to count these 5 waves here in green as complete. So it's going to be interesting. I'll keep you updated. But what I wanted to share with you in this video as well is obviously we know the 200-day moving average, which is down here. We're comfortably above it now. Now, again, I would not be necessarily too surprised to come back at some stage here in this wave 4, retest that actually. That is just below our yellow support box. So again, the 200-day moving average will go higher in the coming days and possibly weeks. And maybe I will change the support box slightly lower to include the 200-day moving average, but it's a bit too early for that. But what I also wanted to share is not the 200-day necessarily, but we can add the 200-week moving average. Yeah, there you go, 200-week. So let's just add that. I'll leave it at the same color, but just that we can see it on the chart. And if I change it to the 200-week, so it hasn't changed yet. Now it's going to change. There you go. You can see that this is actually acting as resistance currently to a degree. We haven't really touched it, but we are currently just below it. So at the moment, the value of the 200-week moving average is at around 25k, so actually just below it. It's more around 24,800. So let's just zoom out, just see where we've been historically with that 200-week moving average. You can see that it often acted as support in the bear market. Obviously not this time, not in this bear market. It was one of the first times that we substantially fell below the 200-week moving average, actually this bear market. I mean, there's always a first time, but we had it here before in 2019 as strong support. We had it in 2020 as strong support, and then we dropped below it in this bear market. At the time it was at 22.6k when we dropped below it in June, and that just confirmed further downside at the time. And now we have the chance again to challenge it here in July, August. We tried to break through it, but we failed substantially. Yeah, couldn't really hold above it on a sustained basis, fell below it, and now we have another chance eventually to break above it, which would possibly be a bullish sign. But on the other hand, please be aware that this is also going to be strong resistance, and at the moment we are just consolidating just below it. As you can see on the daily, it looks a little bit like as if volatility actually increases a bit, or has increased in the last few days. Now in the last couple of days again it reduced a bit, and we continue to see the bearish momentum increase on the MACD, and also the RSI is in a bearish crossover situation, but still in the, you could say, the bullish trend section above 50. So I'm curious to see now if the MACD, that negative momentum on the daily, can push the price down into that wave 4 support area. So I'm watching if the green support is holding, and if it does, are we holding the yellow large support area? And if we hold that yellow large support area that at the moment goes down to around 20k, then we have a chance to rally in a fifth wave into the 28 to 29k region. Good. So I'm gonna keep observing that for you. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.